Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. Drew Brees should retire.
He's done.
Done.
Yes, over.
So Drew Brees fucked up. So he did an interview. Ironically, he did an interview for some like franchisee from some business that he's like an advertising person who that
was. Like, why are you even?
And that guy is talking about like franchising, whatever the hell he's selling. I don't know what it was. And they're getting interviewed by Yahoo Sports. The Yahoo Sports reporter just goes right at it. Drew, what do you think about what's going on?
Yeah, got him.
This guy drops the whole notion that what Colin Kaepernick was doing, I understand, but you shouldn't disrespect the flag. And so he still, because he said, how should players protest? And so clearly this was the epitome of tone deaf, just missed the boat on why people are protesting.
Yeah, I think ultimately, especially when it comes to someone like Drew Brees, you're not of the community. You were embraced by the community in New Orleans. You don't really know what people are going through. You don't really have a feel for it. On top of that, you've been rich half your life. And I don't know if he was rich growing up or not. So he's completely out of touch. And honestly, he should just shut up.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Drew, no one cares what you think on the topic.
Yeah.
Whether you say something, in my opinion, for a guy like that, whether you say something positive or negative, it ain't gonna change shit. Because guess what? You're not gonna get up and go do nothing about it.
Yeah.
So just shut up.
Yeah, and
I think it's actually more nuanced than that, because his exact quote was, "I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America," and he's anti-kneeling. So let's think about that. This is exactly what we're fighting.
Yeah.
Right? That was peaceful protest. If he said, I would never kneel, that's okay.
Yeah.
But criticizing people who kneel is exactly why we're here.
And the reason why he just exposed himself, like the thing that's so crazy about it is, just like a lot of other people, I don't think he even realized that what he said was in any way, shape, or form bad or negative or up for criticism. You could read it on what he was saying. And the other thing that was so insane is he then went into like a 3-minute talk about his grandpas and how he tears up in the World War. And like, you're so fucking... He inserted one little thing about like, oh yeah, and for that matter, the civil rights movement of the 60s. Anyway, back to Gramps and how hard he fought. It's like, it's not even kind of about that. And the fact that he fundamentally doesn't even realize that what he was saying could be controversial is what I think is the most alarming part of this whole thing.
And like, he forgets the part that black people served in World War I and II too. Like,
and came
with
home
no rights.
Terrible
Yo,
treatment.
here's the craziest thing. Like, this is crazy. He is. I'm obviously can't compare him to Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is just another level of shit. But he has the same thing Trump has, which is they truly don't. They don't understand. Like, they don't even realize when they're being racist. It's so in their fucking bones.
Yeah.
It's in it so deep that like shit just rolls off of them and sounds like racism. Yeah. And they don't even see it.
And the opposite is, the other side is saying, oh, look how much he's done for the community. Here's where you don't get a pass for writing a check. You just don't.
No, because that's passive racism.
Yeah.
Writing the check and then telling them to stand.
Yeah.
They contradict.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I give check writing credit under one circumstance. If you don't have a lot of money and you're donating because you just feel like you got to, I give those people credit. Drew Brees fucking has $100 million. That's nothing to him. Yeah. His time is his money.
And you know, even more tone deaf, he talks about his grandparents in World War II. Post World War II, there was a bill called the GI Bill to help World War II vets. Yeah. That discriminated against black people. Yeah. So when black people went to the war, white people got their lives propped up while blacks didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't Jim Crow still in place?
Yes. They came back from the war into Jim Crow.
That's what's so insane, is that shows the fundamental, like Anthony said, it's so ingrained in him to not understand. It's so ingrained to not see the other perspective that you didn't even think, look, at this time, if you even think you're kind of shaky on how to speak about this shit, don't answer that question.
Yep. Yeah.
Say that's a question we're not going into that. Cut that out. You're Drew Brees. They'll cut it out. He didn't even think for a second that what he was saying was off base. And the thing that I think I hate the most is like, this is the same problem I have with looting. I don't know if you guys talked about this, about people talking about looting. It's like, all you're doing is trying to force people to put it somewhere comfortable.
Yep.
Because it's not comfortable. Looting, I don't know. That feels, now we got to get the police involved. This is not good. Disrespecting the flag. Do it some other way. All you want to do is slowly corral people into a box where it's totally comfortable and you don't have to do anything about it. And so this whole flag thing is the most ignorant. How clear can it be? I mean, the guy consulted a fucking veteran.
Yeah.
For the best way to do it. The fact that he even had the presence of mind to give a shit enough to do that. And veterans have come out, maybe not all of them, but veterans have come out and said that's not disrespectful.
He fucking kneeled. It was bullshit.
Yeah, it was
But that's
bullshit.
the point of a protest. You do it when people don't like it.
Yeah. And here's the thing that, where we have to actually get to, and this is another on the same in the sports world, is there has to be consequences, right? Because what's the consequence to Drew Brees today? LeBron spoke out on him. Malcolm Jenkins spoke at him. All the players spoke out against him. But his life will go on. He gets to be a rich white guy, gets to go on with his job.
You saw the New Orleans chants.
Yeah. So
those were a lot of white people too.
Yeah.
There wasn't black. That was crazy.
And so, we're joking, should he retire? Like, if you said something out of pocket at work, you get fired.
Yeah.
All the time. Doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter your status, you get fired. And there's another incident that I think that this to me is going to be very interesting how the NFL handles this. Jake Fromm, who I think played Georgia quarterback, got drafted by the Buffalo Bills. He was talking to some girl. Her name is Ashley. She posts a conversation with Jacob, and she says, "Guns, silly Billy, follow the flow of the text." And he goes, "I thought we were talking about lots of stuff, but no, guns are good. They need to let me get suppressors. Just make them very expensive so only elite white people can get them. Ha ha." She goes, "Bro, what? Whoa, do you think you're an elite white person?" I'm like, whoa. And then she posted that on social media.
God bless her.
In the words of Donald Trump, fire that son of a bitch.
Yeah, and she's getting a text from, I think, one of her friends or her sister or something like this. "Ashley, please delete it. I can't. It's not right. You just said you were." I mean, I don't want to see him go down or anything, but I know part of helping the cause on my end is to call out things like that. And if anything, I don't think he'd get fired. I think he might just have to make a statement, which would be good. No, he's about to get fired. The Bills are talking about dropping him right now. And she goes, "How is that my fault?"
Yeah, I hope that this whole thing sparks more of that type of action.
Yes,
and that's what we talked about with Omar. Check that shit. Don't let that shit happen.
Yeah, and I also think sports this year is going to be. I think if you're a racist person and you call people rioters, and you are against what's happening, you should stop watching sports. Yeah. They're going to fucking speak up this year.
By the way, I love the word riot because it scares people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the riots. I want to scare you. Yeah, they're fucking riots. We want change.
Yeah.
The funny thing about the text message.
I try to stay away from that word because I
love
know,
it.
Okay.
We're rioting until they fucking change something.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing about the text message. And I think you guys may have said this on the last pod, but it's very similar to what happened to the Me Too movement where the minute the little guys realized that the big guys could get taken down, the little guys started getting empowered. I'm going to just do it. 10 years ago, you would never oust he was one of the first 10 quarterbacks taken in the last draft.
Yeah.
You would never do that because you'd be afraid for what happened to you.
Yeah.
Now they're like, "Oh, I don't care. This happened to Drew Brees. Fuck that. I'm doing this."
Yeah.
And it's going to empower people to speak up and put more people on blast.
Yeah.
And it's going to force folks to have the difficult conversations and prove to people where they stand.
Yeah.
What side of the line are they on?
And that's what I think is so important is that now I got a bunch of comments in DMs and some on my Instagram about people like, "Oh, what you're saying is so divisive." I'm like, no. There's right and there's wrong. There's a bunch of people who know this is the right change that needs to happen, and everyone else you're going to get left behind. There's nothing that, if you don't change your mentality. I don't know if you guys saw this. There was a girl who recorded a conversation with her and her father.
Oh,
white family.
The crying girl?
No, I'm talking about, it's like a young,
that was crazy.
14-year-old girl. She was like asking us, what do you think about the riots? And, he, racist white dad, he just went in, and so did the mom. She is arguing with them, and she then smirks at the camera, and then she posted and says, does anyone want to adopt me? Because these guys, and she's exposing what everyone is dealing with at home. A lot of kids are dealing with racist families. And like this guy, Jake Fromm or Drew Brees, they, like you said, it's in their blood. They don't even know anything better. They don't think it's racist. That's the problem.
And honestly, that's why I've been saying this for the last week. It starts with the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw that damn George Floyd that, by the way, I just gotta say, the George Floyd challenge, that little those trash ass pictures.
Well, share what that is, because
so basically, a few white boys, some in the UK, some in America, reenacted a cop putting their knee on someone and called it the George Floyd challenge, and they reenacted on TikTok, and even on Instagram and Twitter, they were posting the pictures and whatnot. And I have to say to you, watching George Floyd's the videos of what happened to George Floyd at every angle fucking killed me. Yeah. But you know what? I was like, it's sad because I'm not surprised. This has been happening to us, right? When I saw the video of the kids, I said, oh, this shit is deeper than deep. Yeah. This isn't just about the police. Yeah. Shit is growing out of the fucking ground. Yeah. It's growing out of the trees. Yeah. It's fucking washing up on our fucking on our shores. Yeah. This shit it's like Kareem said, it's fucking dust. Yeah. Like kids. Yeah. Like kids. Yeah. It bothered me so almost as much as the incident. It killed me.
I remember when I'll never forget this. And I'm not even black. Walking through the park in Northridge, and this kid came up to me and said the N-word to me. Like, get out of the way, N-word. And I was like, I think I was like, I don't know, 9 years old, playing baseball. And I go to my mom, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? So my mom went and yelled at them. But like, can you imagine being called that your entire life as a child? And then you have to deal with, you're just like, hearing the black kind of experience as a young person is fucking heartbreaking. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can talk to a black person that hasn't experienced some grotesque form of racism that no other race has ever dealt with in this country.
Like, people never talk about this. This is my whole point with Trump and with this. People never talk about the emotional impact of just knowing that these things even happen. Like, when we see George Floyd, we're like, oh my God, appalling, this man was murdered. When a young black person sees that, they see themselves. Yeah. And then the next time they see a cop, they see that. Yep. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, that deeper emotional is the part that I obviously can't relate to, but like is what's so impactful. And the same way, when these young kids see mom and dad saying the N-word and being racist at home, they go do that to their friends. There was another thing that came out on Snapchat or on TikTok of Snapchats between like 14-year-olds. Yeah. That they were saying, why should I give a shit about George Floyd, blah, 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 one less, blah, blah, blah. And like, these are like children.
Yeah, stop acting. If you stop acting like a black, then you'll stop getting treated like a black. Yeah. Oh, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah. And then, hearing Trump saying, MAGA loves the blacks. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, the language, every layer of it got to stop. Yeah. I mean, like, I wanted to like rehash this story. We witnessed racism at firsthand at Anand's bachelor party in Stockholm. Now, I will admit, like, one story had nothing to do with me. The other one, I had like a small part of it was partly my fault, but still, I was targeted. The first night we're in Stockholm, we go out and this is while Drake and Future are on the Summer 16 tour. So it's like, 10, 11 p.m. in Stockholm or even midnight. I'm walking out of the club probably every 10 or 15 minutes because I have a phone call. And every time I would walk back in, I would like thank the.
It was like a lounge.
It was a lounge.
It wasn't
half
like
packed.
yeah.
Half packed. It was like a lounge. I'm on the phone. Finally, I walk after. This was like my third time. I walk back in. He goes, "You're not allowed in anymore. You're too drunk." I said, "What?" He goes, "You've been coming in and out of this club all night. What are you doing outside?
Yeah.
You're too drunk." I said, "Sir, I've been outside on the phone. You've been watching me." Drama had to come outside and yell. Everyone had to.
Yeah.
I don't think I even
We
made
left.
it back. Yeah, I left. I didn't even make it back in. We all left.
Yeah, but
That's
we
right.
all came out and we're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Because I walked out that same night probably
Yeah, the same
7
amount because
times.
you
Yeah.
walked out more
Yeah.
times than me.
Yeah.
And then they wouldn't let me back in. So I'm like, yo, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
So like, we're yelling, whatever. We all leave. Next day, now this when I caveat that this was partly my fault. We're like smoking weed in the club, and we're like now there's 25 of us, maybe 20 of us.
Yeah.
Like Indian, white, this, that. Me and J-Dub are the only two black people.
It was a very ethnic group.
Very
though.
ethnic group. But me and J-Dub,
Stockholm did not like us.
me and J-Dub were not only the only two black people there, but we were standing next to each other at one end. So we're passing around, we're smoking, hanging, talking. Police come straight to our table. They don't even see who's smoking, they just smell it. They walk straight to me and J-Dub.
Yeah.
Completely ignore everyone else. And they're like, "So what are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What?"
And we're the only ones spending money too.
We're the only ones buying bottles. So then they like basically take me and J-Dub into this like closet, like doorway or like hall or something like that. D essentially implicates himself. He runs and goes, "I did it too. Take me." Because he's like, I need to make sure they don't beat the shit out of these guys. So he's like searching me and trying to find shit on me, and he doesn't find anything on me. And so then when we leave, I fucking like turned into fucking Denzel from Training Day and like started screaming at him like, "You didn't find shit. You can't touch me. You can't hold me." And the guy's just looking at me like shit. And it was insane because he literally walked straight to me and J-Dub.
Yeah.
He didn't even blink.
Yeah.
Not for a second.
I gotta be honest, that was probably in my memory as the most, because I remember I was like, I hadn't traveled a
You've
lot.
never been nowhere like that.
So I was in Stockholm. Then I remember they were ushering us down the back stairs of the club.
Yeah.
And I will say, probably the most ever in my life, that's when I understood the fear of not knowing, because everyone was being all weird. Like our group was like, just go, just keep walking.
Yeah, like don't say anything.
Because we didn't know where they were going to lead us. We didn't know where we were going to pop out. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like this is how it feels to like have no idea what they're about. Like you have no control here.
Oh man, I remember the earliest days of getting followed around stores and all of that shit. Like I remember I worked at Metropolis in high school, right? In the Delamo Mall. And he used to be like, he used to tell me, like, he used to say, stay close to make sure if anyone needs help. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll stay close. And then one day he was like, hey, you're not close enough. Because I'm like, I'm 10, 15 feet away. What the fuck? Do you want me to be in their pocket?
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, you need to be closer to make sure you see everything. I fucking quit the next day.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, you think I'm going to be fucking hired surveillance for my people? Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Especially, I know those guys. They made all their money selling to black people.
Yeah, literally. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then like I don't fuck with that, man.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. Who do you think's more dangerous? The Obama voter that's a passive racist, or the Trump voter that we know is a racist? Who's more dangerous to society today?
I think I have to say the people who don't really know they're racist, that are racist, scare me more.
That's
Drew
where
Brees.
I stand too.
That's true.
Because at least I know where a white supremacist stand. Like if I go to Huntington Beach and I go walk down the fucking boardwalk and I see all those dudes in their cut up shirts and jean shorts and shit, I know exactly.
Yeah.
So cool. I get it. We're cool.
Yeah.
The ones that are like,
Yeah.
you don't really know, and there are some who like aren't racist but don't know how to communicate how they can be helpful. By the way, I take a lot of ownership in that. I've never given a crystal clear plan to any friend as to how they can help.
Yeah.
Right? So like, I get there's some sensitivity around the conversation and whatnot. But yeah, I think I'd much rather know.
Right.
Look, better the devil you know than the one you don't.
Yeah.
So,
But I will say, like, my only complaint, because a lot of people like ask that, I don't think it's one or the other. I think like there's still a lot of low-key racists that either voted for Trump or didn't. I just think that Trump just made a lot of people think it was okay. And that's the part that is so fucking wild. Like there are politicians that are more outspoken, or maybe police deputies or parents or whatever it is, that are just a little bit more confident. And what that does is that gets the kid to buy into what his parents are saying.
He's right.
Because now they're a little more emboldened. Like I don't think you're choosing one or the other. I think it's no question worse with Trump, because he emboldened people to say something out loud and spread something.
You know what Trump did? Trump wiped away a ton of influence Black culture had on like the trailer park community. Like because we laughed about this a long time ago. I mean, like the trailer park community hasn't had anyone since Eminem.
Yeah.
Like who talks to them?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And so like urban culture actually infiltrated that world. You started seeing like a lot more of them like dressing a certain way, listening to music, whatnot. And then they have their white knight who comes out of nowhere and is like, for you, by you, FUBU for them.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
This guy is a product of like, even though he was like a fucking rich kid from Upper East Side or whatever, Upper West Side. And like, and so they all gravitated to that. And I think that it single-handedly unwinded so much, so much that I think the culture did for those people.
Yeah, and I think the big problem is that like even the way there was a radio host in I think Albany or Buffalo or Rochester, New York, I forgot where, a duo, and they were talking about the rioters, and one of the women said, some of these people are acting N-wordly.
Really?
Yeah. And
what city was this radio show?
I think Rochester, New York. One of those cities. And the host and the co-host, male co-host, says something and eggs it on and keeps going. They got fired today. They're part of iHeartRadio and they were fired. Like this is why all these instances coming out, there have to be consequences. Because if you go and punch someone in the face, you can face assault charges. Doesn't matter, right? Now, if you're blatantly racist, it has to be it's a hate crime.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Right? So we all agree that the reason we're here is because the transparency we were afforded by the internet.
Yeah.
Right? Like that has moved this shit. Shit's moving at lightning speed because of it. You're able to mobilize. Yeah. You're able to have scale communication, this and that. So if that's the case, right, is Mark Zuckerberg wrong?
I think he's 100% wrong. I think he has an I think Drama has said it before. He said he views himself as a platform, and that's why he's like the platform does what the platform wants. He's essentially, to me, a publishing arm more than a platform, and you have to correct what you allow on your platform. Snapchat went and said all Trump coverage is removed from the Discover channel. They're going to not show that stuff.
No, they're not going to
put on the Discover.
So I think the way Facebook is hiding behind specifically Zuck, and he's trying to play this like libertarian above the fray persona, but it's completely fraudulent because the algorithm is the arbiter of truth that he claims he's not. Mm-hmm. The algorithm decides what people see at scale. His algorithm the number one thing on Facebook today was Candace Owens blasting this whole movement. Mm-hmm. That is an algorithm. Your algorithm decided that's what everyone needs to see.
Yep.
So don't pretend like Facebook is just letting everything post and you get to see everything equally. Yeah. That's not how Facebook works.
Because my complaint too is I feel like Facebook and social media added to all of this good of people being able to connect and mobilize. It also has contributed to so much bad of like magnifying people's racist tendencies and stuff like that. And this is one of the few instances where I feel like you could get the good without the bad. Like I feel like Facebook could still accomplish letting people connect and mobilize like this without putting gasoline on that other fire. And if I didn't think that was possible, I wouldn't expect him to do it. But I think you can. I think naturally people want to connect with like-minded people and go solve the problems and blah, blah, blah. But they also will be a victim of like hate, anger news. And you have to not let You know what I mean?
Yeah, I struggle with this point because a part of me, like morally, it's 100% the right. I think we should put a muzzle on his ass.
Yeah.
He should be blocked on social media.
Yeah.
But then when I think through what are the bigger ramifications of these like platforms putting their foot down and what that potentially could lead to, it kind of scares me. You know why? Because we always get the short end of the stick when shit like this happens. Yeah, it starts off by being a Trump punishment. Next thing you know, they're like blocking all protest footage and da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, I kind of like the fact that you can see and like I get there's bad shit popping out of it, but the transparency up to this point has afforded us a lot of fucking justice. But also, so I'm in the middle. It's like, is the bad worth it for the good that it's bringing? Yeah. That's the thing that I try to rationalize. And as a human, yes, I think I wish Trump, no one ever heard what he said again. But the overall action, president or not, it scares me that there's some effect down the line that could happen.
My opinion is there are two different conversations because I'm not asking them to censor anyone. I don't think censorship is safe because then who's choosing what to censor, right? I think the problem with Facebook is they put money and clicks first above truth or above anything else. So they like Anand just said, they put this Candace Owens video at the top, not because it's the most helpful, it's the most truthful, it's the most anything. It's getting the most clicks and driving the most revenue.
And the algorithm figured that out.
Yeah, and I think you could stop that algorithm that's just based on outrage and let everyone have a fair. You don't censor anyone.
I gotta tell you, I don't like. See, to me, this is a deeper issue, and I think we may have mentioned this. I even said on Twitter, like, this isn't really. In my opinion, this isn't Facebook didn't start this. Roger Ailes and Fox News started this. This is like an element of that. Like if you take a second and really research everything Roger Ailes has done,
totally,
and he has revolutionized the way we consume content today.
But I think
shock value, spinning it, blah blah. So what happens is the behaviors that he created. They then found a place where they can kind of build their community online. Yeah. And yes, Facebook is yes, I agree. Facebook has afforded them the opportunity to grow their base and spread fucking terrible news that like grows crazy and trends and all of that. But like Zuck didn't create this. Like it kind of came his way.
Yeah,
like
but the way I see it is like if D creates really great ads for Menlo House, and then his growth team figures out which ones are performing the best and magnifies it. You're two parts of the same problem. Yeah. And I feel like Roger Ailes is the creator, and many like him, are the creator of the content.
No, he's like the guy.
He's the guy, I know. But I mean,
he's the guy.
But Zucks is his growth team.
Yeah.
Zucks is the guy that says, you know what? This video is getting more clicks because it's so outlandish than a true video about the stats of police injustice, whatever. So I'm gonna put this one on steroids and give it superpower and prioritize it. And like it's the same thing the media does, right? The media likes to focus on looting because you're gonna stick around and watch a news story about looting, not about all the peaceful protests. I know why they do it, but we have to change the North Star from money and clicks to some sort of anything with a moral code, because you're burning the country to the ground so that you can get your clicks and your ad.
Or if you take it that approach, then just they can't have this algorithm that shows you content to just keep you in your echo chamber.
Yeah, audit the algorithm.
Yeah, don't censor. Don't ever censor. But don't fucking
reward.
Don't reward bullshit, man.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was talking to Ben Horowitz one time, and he gave me this point where he's like, this has happened many times. He goes, Hitler won because of radio, and then what happened? The world regulated radio. Yeah. And then JFK won because of TV, the world regulated TV. Mm-hmm. And then Obama won because of Facebook. Yeah. The shit that's fucking us is the shit that helped Obama win. Yeah. Right? It's now coming to bite us in the ass, and we're realizing that there needs to be some regulation around it. That I agree with, but at the same time, we cannot sit here and we've benefited from what Zuck has done. Mm-hmm. And my fear is when you start going down the path of changing things and whatnot, what does it do to us? Yeah. I don't want to make a reactionary decision today because I'm worried that in a year or two. Oh, next thing you know, they put a muzzle on some great thing that's happening. Zuck's like, hey, you guys told me I had to do this. I did it.
I agree.
Now look at this. That's the thing that scares me. So I'm like, so that's why I take a step back and I'm just a little.
I agree. I just think we have to be careful because I do think that's the easy. It's easy when people say stop rewarding this shock news to tie it to like censorship, and they're really two different things.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to divide that conversation. We all know that we're not talking about censorship. Censorship is fucking terrible. Please never do that to social media. Yeah. But damn it, man, like these algorithms greatly reward clicks. Like if you post a video of someone like punching a fucking baby, that's going to get sent to the top of the algorithm because everyone wants to watch it. Is that really what we should be promoting? Why? So that you can sell more ads? Like what are we doing?
That's
here?
the cult.
And we're towing the line. So if you think about what happened in the last 60 to 90 days, we have a pandemic. The government goes into high gear in regulation and stimulus bills for the Treasury, the Fed doing everything they did for the stock market, the bond market, stimulus checks. Those same people, the same rich guys who never wanted the government to have stimulus or have influence over these like national policies are welcoming it because it benefits. It's a net benefit to society.
Yeah.
Right? Like it is clear if we didn't give stimulus checks, increase unemployment checks, and fund the stock market, this country would have burned separately from the protest. Mm-hmm. So the government realized like it's a net benefit to society to do this, and everyone was in agreement.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we know we have a problem with social media. Mm-hmm. It is a net benefit to the American society. Let every country decide what they want to do. Yeah. But to our country, it is a net benefit today to regulate it. How that looks like, I don't know.
That's the problem.
It's going to get worse because kids are way worse than we were. Yeah. Imagine us. Like, you think Matt Belinsky's bad? You see a fucking 15-year-old. They're worse than Matt Belinsky today. Imagine what they're going to be when they're his age.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting worse. Yeah. It's going the other way. To me, like, I've gone really extreme on this point of view. And I've, like, never said this publicly. But, like, I think, like, if you need a license to drive, you should need a license to be on social media. There should be like some tests that you have to pass to prove that like you're worthy of the benefit to do that, because people are they are mentally abusing people every day. People are being, and it's more than, it's every platform. Yeah. It's Instagram, it's everything.
Yeah. And we've even said on here, Dee brought it up, is like step one is the license thing. I'm all down for it. Step one is you should have to be a real person. You should be tied to your real identity. Yeah. That's step one.
Yeah,
like you can't hide behind like.
That's number one. You're right. That's before.
Because the problem is most of the problems happening on social media are being created by bots.
Or people who just want to be assholes and funny.
Because like exactly when I get an insensitive comment or DM or something, it's from someone with no profile picture, no nothing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you gotta show your face. So if you don't show your face, you're blocked. And you can't be on these platforms the same way you have. Like if it's similar to a license to drive. Like you need to show your identity so we know it's you that's talking. Like otherwise, it's to me. It'll never solve the problem until we know everyone can't hide behind their keyboard.
It's true.
So I remember Jack Dorsey was confronted this in one of his interviews in his press tour. His argument was, look, the 14-year-old in Tunisia doesn't have access to identification, and now we're giving him access to information in the world, and this is how we created a revolution, and that was a net positive. So maybe it's no one in the U.S., 99% have access. They have access to prove your identity somehow.
Yeah.
Whether it's...
if you don't have a phone with internet.
Yeah, so then what does it matter?
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe it's in the U.S. you have to.
Yeah, it can be a U.S. rule.
Yeah.
The EU is very strict when it comes to food and pharmaceutical and all those other things. They regulate so heavily so that their people are get
you know
the
how
best.
I know that's true? I went to London for 3 months, didn't work out once, ate whatever I wanted, and lost weight.
Yeah.
Came back to America, gained 10 pounds.
While working out.
Drinking fucking every green juice on the planet, all that shit. Haley sent me all these vitamins. Yeah. I'm like taking all this shit, gained all the fucking weight back and more.
Yeah, because we don't regulate the basic things our society needs.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, here's the lesson learned for me is like food people are going to appeal to your worst instincts.
Yeah.
Drugs, alcohol, now the internet, the content you watch, like more. I think there's this new challenge that has never been before in human history where it's on you as a person to educate yourself and make the right decisions and be careful with what you take in on food, on your mental, like, because you have all these people targeting your worst instincts as a human being.
The two best marketing tactics are nostalgia and fear.
Yeah.
Literally, they are the foundation of almost every marketing plan, any brand. Like, you guys are selling masks and hand sanitizer because people are fucking scared and want to be healthy and cover them. Like, everything is from that.
Yeah.
You dress up to look good because you're afraid when you see a hot girl, she's gonna look at you like you're whack. Like, like, these things are all driven by nostalgia and fears.
Yeah.
It's look at Michael Jordan. That was like a nostalgic bliss. Like, that whole thing, even the damn the way they flipped the ESPN
commercials,
ESPN commercials, everything about it just gave you that sense of like, wow, childhood. So like, I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, and look at the fact that Michael Jordan was fueled by the fear of his dad not loving him.
Yep.
To add that in, like, it's everything is so, but everyone is so good at targeting those things now.
Yeah.
And so as a singular person, you have to be like so diligent on not fighting that or not allowing that.
So wait, so Drew Brees is canceled, right? He's canceled in my book.
Retired.
Yeah, no, but okay, let's think about it. He was expected that this was his last year, and NBC was ready to pay him $10 to $15 million a year to do Sunday Night Football. What do you think happens?
And see, here's the thing. Sports is in a very scary place.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in the sports business, most of your athletes on NFL and NBA are black. Your fan base is probably predominantly white still. Probably NBA is more diverse. You have to appease your fans, but your stars, you have to keep happy as well. I think it's going to be a network has to take a stand. It's ESPN, I think, because it's Disney. I think they will be the company that does it. They will start firing people. They've already shown that they're not afraid to do that. I don't know who the heads of these other networks are. Like, or who, we know NFL is wishy-washy with their stuff, but the heat is coming on from their players. Like, their stars are all black.
CBS don't want the smoke. They just dealt with the Les Moonves shit.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want that.
So do you think NBC, Drew Brees was supposed to be this prized prospect for announcing. He was going to get the 10 to 15 million off the bat.
So I'll tell you, I don't think he gets that. I don't think NBC hires him. I think advertisers, like, one of the stories today is Lego donating money. But the bigger thing is they're stopping marketing on all of their police Legos because they think it's completely insensitive. If whoever the big NBC advertiser is, if they, during Sunday Night Football, they go, you know what, we're done. If this guy's there, like, that has to happen.
Because the NFL also has influence on who's calling these games. If everyone knows that.
Yeah.
NFL's telling NBC Drew Brees is vetted. He's not.
Here, let's be very clear though. Unless the Saints force him into retirement or clip him, the show will go on for him. He'll get the job.
Yeah,
if he was on NBC right now, he'd be out.
Yeah.
But because
he's got a full year for people to forget.
Yeah,
and he's watching, goes to the Super Bowl.
No one cares.
If they're gonna let, he's gonna start dropping F-bombs.
And to tie the bow, he did write his PR response today on Instagram.
Yeah. Which is what he should have said in the first place.
But he didn't address the setting of the national anthem. No, he posted an Instagram of a black hand and a white hand.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
clenching
off.
and writing us.
Yeah, man.
Fuck out of here.
I don't believe. I mean, like, I sat through like a very conservative sports reporter talking about this on Periscope, and I saw the comments. This is the problem: is that, like, he's lost all of us, but the core fan base.
He doubled down the 40% of the country.
Yeah, and they love him even more now because he stands for what's right in their eyes.
But you know what the problem is? If you're an athlete, if you're a musician, you can't go against the streets.
Yeah.
You can't. You can do it as a politician. You can do it as a lot of things in this country.
Yeah.
You cannot do it as actor, actress, musician. No, the streets mean way too much to your popularity.
Yeah.
Like, do you want, like, Who Dat Nation? That's like, he is immersed in one of the most culturally like important sports franchises in the world.
Yeah.
Like the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
When you say that shit, you feel it.
Yeah.
He fucked up.
Yeah.
He fucked up big time.
Do you think he gets are people going to give him a pass?
No, I will look. I don't know anyone who's giving him a pass.
No, but
Well,
like
I'm saying NBC.
or like
The Saints, I mean, I don't know who the Saints owner is, but I'm guessing.
Doesn't she own the Pelicans?
yeah,
too?
she's a widow. He owned both the Saints and the Pelicans, and then she took over. She's like in her 80s.
She was the old lady that was like 80s, like my son, Anthony Davis. She used to go to the game. She's really old.
Yeah.
She's
gotta
like
step
a
up.
decently liked person, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know with old white people.
Yeah,
This is her chance.
They got a history. They're like, oh,
They got different versions of their lives as time goes on.
Yeah.
Just like that CEO who's like found to be a fucking KKK guy or something.
yeah.
This is her chance to let us know where she stands.
Her husband, who passed away, Tom Benson, owned the Saints and the Pelicans. She inherited both franchises after he
What do you have
died.
to lose? Click
But like,
through.
for example, a woman like her, she's a billionaire. She's a billionaire many times over. She's in her 80s.
Yeah.
Go out with a bang.
Do the right thing.
Yeah, let famous Jameis start. He might win you a Super Bowl. He led the league in touchdowns last year. I'm a big famous Jameis guy.
And interceptions.
Hey, listen. Hey, he's black. We're only focusing on the positive. All right?
Black interceptions matter too.
He got LASIK this offseason. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, he's ready, man. Don't sleep on famous Jameis.
I'm a huge fan. I have a famous James jersey.
I love famous Jameis.
Yeah, damn it, man. I'm so curious to see how this one goes. With his teammates speaking out about it already. And I mean, George Floyd's brother made a video about it. It's like, we'll see. I don't know.
I think the NFL is going to have a really hard time. So,
Yeah.
And frankly, the Saints matter to black people.
Yeah.
They do. I mean, Gabe, my brother, I asked him. He's like, man, fuck Drew Brees. I mean, this guy's like, I mean, like, he even like sounds like he's from New Orleans.
Yeah, I literally texted him. I texted him, and I was like, what do you think?
I
And
mean,
he's
I've
like,
been in New Orleans once. It's a black city.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's no way around it.
Like, how, I just don't even understand how living there, playing there, having that many fans, you are that clueless.
Because
I
it's
don't
just you're just raised that way, and until he gets cut, his life changes, his income changes. This is where you have to hold people accountable in the pocketbook, because the money is what everyone cares about the most.
Yeah.
They more than racial equality or inequality or how much they hate black people. They care about their money.
That's what Jewish people got right after the Holocaust.
Yeah.
The Jewish people got that right.
Yeah.
They just
Because
knew.
here's what's going to happen. If Drew Brees is the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, and we all forget, he's going to be making $15 million on a PJ to his NBC Sunday night game, talking about, remember that? I almost got screwed, but hey, everything's fine.
Yeah. Nothing. But if he doesn't get the job and he has to go hide somewhere because society doesn't accept him, then maybe he'll actually change, because he's still a relatively young person.
And he's rich. He doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, next up.
Yeah.
That was segment 1.
Segment 1, 45 minutes.
A block.
Okay, NBA is coming back. July 31st.
We're back, baby.
We're back. Are we doing Disney World? What are we doing?
I don't know,
Orlando.
but I think the Lakers are screwed.
Why?
But yeah, it is Orlando Disney World.
Yeah.
To answer your
22
question.
teams.
The bubble.
The Lakers are screwed. You know why? Because the Portland Trailblazers are getting back Zach Collins and Nurkic, and they're going to be able to compete for the 8th seed. Portland potentially is a top 4 Western team when fully healthy that the Lakers are going to have to face in the fucking first
Okay,
round.
let me tell you something about sports. It is all rigged, okay? It is important that LeBron James, for Lakers, for the whole country, the whole world, that the Lakers win
All right,
the...
fine.
Yeah,
If the NBA is rigged, how come you lost so much money gambling in the NBA?
I'm a bad gambler.
You were so bad at it, your wife basically threatened to kick you out the house over it. You almost didn't get married. You almost didn't have a kid. You almost ruined your whole life over gambling.
And I stopped.
And you still suck, even though you say it's rigged.
He's
So if it's
not in
rigged,
on
why
the
don't you
fix.
win?
I'm not good at rigging. I'm not...
Yeah, he
So
doesn't
here's-
know
Maybe if
that.
I was white, I would know how to do it better.
So here's the
Oh
issue.
no, that's what's gonna start. You're riding the coattails.
Yeah,
This
might
isn't your
as well.
movement.
So you have 22 teams in a bubble in Orlando Disney World. They're allowed to go play golf and eat at the restaurants and Disney World. There's all these restrictions. Here's the issue. There's no fans. So no fans, and these guys have been playing. I'm convinced some random team's going to win the title. Like, it's not going to be one of the favorites. You're just going to see some team get hot for 2 months. Yeah. And you're going to be like, whoa, who won the NBA title in 2020?
Like the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
This is the reason.
I don't even know if
the
they're
only reason why I don't agree with that is because at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, all these look, let's look at it really quickly. If you're thinking about the East, you have the Bucks, the Raptors, Celtics, and we're forgetting Philly. Yep. So Philly and Indiana are two interesting teams. Philly is one of the most talented teams on paper I've ever seen in the NBA. They have 5'7" guys who can all shoot threes, right? And then Indiana, who's been relatively unhealthy for most of the season, Victor Oladipo coming back, blah, blah. But they have a really, really, really talented team. Those two guys are guys, and Portland, those three teams are teams that are going to benefit from this because everybody's back and healthy. But the Clippers, they may have to play Dallas in the first round. Yeah. Do you want to play against Luka and Porzingis fully healthy? You never know. Yeah. You never know.
I think it's going to be blockbuster ratings. I think everyone in the country is excited for it. Yeah. I do think politically, MAGA people are not going to like what they see. No. Because NBA is black. Yeah. That is.
Yeah, but what do you think they're going to do?
I think they're all going to speak out. They're not going to sit and just allow this shit to just...
No, I think they'll speak out, but I think it's really... It's a different fan base because the NBA fans like their pursuit of civil rights and
some
I can't breathe.
Fans.
I think most.
It's NBA.
I look courtside around the country. I don't know about that.
But the NBA didn't get criticized for... when teams were wearing the I can't breathe, and then LeBron, and they are pretty outspoken.
Well, I'm going to tell you the other difference here is purely the biggest stars in the NFL are white. The biggest stars in the NBA are black. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Like you really want to go toe-to-toe with LeBron James and Chris Paul and Steph Curry and all these guys on these issues? You're on these issues, but guess what? You don't got to worry about it. Look, your guy Drew Brees is out there having your fucking back on these positions. And Tom Brady ain't saying shit. Aaron Rodgers, I got to say. So yesterday I text Anand. We like Aaron Rodgers now was trending on Twitter for 20 minutes, and then it clicked and it just went to Aaron Rodgers. You know, sometimes they'll do a whole sentence. Yeah. And I was dying laughing. This guy took the opportunity to just come in and step right on him.
Yeah, and I think sports is going to... sports usually is a uniting thing. Yeah. And I think it can be. I'm just so curious because of what's going to happen. I think those NFL fans are going to watch NBA because they're just starved for sports. Yeah. Right? Everyone's just starving.
It might make them more racist when they see what they see.
Yeah. That's what I'm interesting to learn about is what is the dynamic going to be in the locker rooms and the NFL season starts? I mean, NFL clearly has made their case on where they stand, but they got to make some serious changes.
Yeah. I have zero worries about the NBA. They're going to come correct. They're a very progressive league. Look at Greg Popovich said one of the fucking most profound and toughest things out there. Yeah. And he's if you were the outside looking in, you would just think he's some white guy.
The two biggest coaches are the most outspoken. Steve Kerr,
so
Popovich.
The
NBA is not my worry.
Okay. Yeah, NFL is the one I'm really curious about.
Yeah,
because
and baseball.
True.
No, time out. College sports.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, actually, one of the things that I actually wanted to talk about. So college sports has been a big topic that that these coaches are not addressing the players. They're giving generic responses, generic messaging, and that's another thing. College football is a huge multi-billion-dollar business. There's a kid out of San Diego named Mikey. Is it Williams? Mm-hmm. What's his last name? Mike, the young kid.
Oh, the basketball player. Yeah, Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. He's 14 years old. He tweeted, maybe I'll go to a historical black college. He can do that. He's going to the NBA no matter what.
No matter what, yeah.
If he does that, he changes sports.
The only problem with that is the one and done rule will be gone by the time he's a senior in high school.
So,
but the premise is right. Yeah. He can tip the fucking scale like that.
Yeah, if Bronny goes, I'm going to Grambling.
You remember what happened in what's the movie called? Blue Chips?
Oh, yeah. They did that shit's cool.
They had Penny Hardaway and Shaq.
Ricky Rowe.
Yeah. But I think that's important. Is that these athletes? I think they realize now they have the power. Mm-hmm. It doesn't if you're good at what you do, you can go anywhere.
Especially in NCAA basketball, it literally doesn't matter what team you play for. It doesn't matter if your team gets to the NCAA tournament or not, losing the first round. If you're a star, you're a top 5 pick.
Yeah, and I think coaches, they have to change.
Think about it, Ben Simmons was the number 1 pick and his team didn't make the NCAA tournament.
Dude, Kyrie Irving played like 3 games at Duke. The guy was like, didn't even, and then everyone was like, I mean, do we even know if he's good or not? And then he got in the corner, like, oh shit, he's good.
Yeah. But yeah, I think sports is going to have a huge impact on race relations in this country, because one thing everyone loves is, especially the conservative people, they love sports.
I mean, think about the NFL. If there's an NFL season this fall, black athletes are going to triple down on the Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Especially because they probably felt, I would think that a black NFL player probably feels a little, silenced by the NFL. You have to believe they're going to be like, all right, fuck all that. I tried to just play ball here and whatever.
And what are you going to do? If you don't cut Drew Brees, you can cut me.
Yeah.
It's good. NFL has.
They'd probably they'd leave Drew Brees, they'd probably save as long as they could.
Yeah. They're going to make him give money, apologies. They're going to try to figure out every single way to make sure he's playing in November.
It's true.
But yeah, they got to. It's just fuck, man, you got to it's over. Stop catering to racist mentality. Just lean all the way in. Fucking show you're a part of it. That's what I love about what's happening is so many people are doing. So many people are saying, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah.
It's went on long enough. Ben and Jerry's posted a really blunt tweet.
Yeah.
You gotta just give it.
And I think I also think it's important that people that don't understand it, they go walk through the protest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's in front of my house, and I just walked by it. I took my son. It is so powerful. Yeah. How are you denying these people basic fucking rights?
And to the point that a lot of people have brought up, everyone used to say, I don't want to think about politics on Sunday when I wake up. These guys kneeling. I'm here for sports.
Yeah.
Guess what? You didn't listen then. That's why all our cities are shut down.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true. Next thing, it wouldn't be right. I know we're just going off on tangents here. It wouldn't be right if we had Anthony on here and didn't talk about the music industry.
Music industry.
So a lot of, I've seen a lot of posts, a lot of talk about the music industry. So I've seen, this is what I've seen. I'm sure everyone's kind of seen a slightly different perspective. I've seen a lot of artists donating. The Weeknd donated a shit ton, $500K or something.
Yeah.
Drake, at least 100,000, probably more.
Look, a lot of people donate and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that, I don't think that's ever the issue. I think some people feel weird. I know Nas, every time, he, year round, we're always throwing money at things. He doesn't necessarily feel
I gotta share it.
I gotta share it. He feels like it's almost it's corny of me to do that.
Yeah.
It's what I'm supposed to be doing.
I agree. So then let me just say this then. The way that it feels to me is kind of the story is artists are getting involved, artists are protesting, J. Cole is out at protests, all this stuff, donating, whatever.
Anthony donated.
Yeah, I'm sure. I just would expect
big number.
that he did.
Yeah,
if he wants to share it.
We actually shared
it. We'll touch on that later. Yeah, we'll touch on that later.
Yeah. So,
we'll touch on that later.
But the conversation is that there's a lack of involvement, or has been, from labels, Apple Music, Spotify, is how it's looking. So you're seeing Universal Music just donated, Warner just donated $100 million.
Well, conveniently, they donated $100 million.
Warner.
Okay, they donated $100 million on the day they had
the IPO. And I got a 20% bump, so they basically paid for itself.
They got a $14 billion valuation.
I got tricked.
Yeah, so
listen. All right,
I'm down with the guilt money.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to guilt people into donating money. Mm-hmm. My only issue with the money situation, and I'm struggling this internally in the way how I want our company to act on this. The money is nice. Actions are more important to me. And I think it's great that Warner gave the money. I mean, they've obviously profited extremely well off black entertainers. But what are you going to do? I need to see your staff. I need to see your team. I need to see your management. Do you have that diversity in there? And that's what it comes down to, is that I had a call with a white CEO that reached out to me. He's doing extremely well. And he was just like, what the fuck should I do? And I'm like, I want to make a difference. And I just straight up asked him, what does your staff look like? what are you doing for the community? It's nice that you'll write a check, but what are you actually going to do? I want to give me 5 things you're going to do. And we kind of walked through it. And he came back to me and said like, wow, this is an actual strategy and a plan. But like donating money is just the tip of the iceberg.
For sure. I mean, here's the thing. It's twofold. We need to all, first of all, as a society, and I don't have that problem because like I like work with artists that I think have a voice, whether you like it or not. But I think people expect too much from some of these artists. Some of these guys don't know. It's like what Michael Jordan said.
I'm not talking about the artist. I'm talking about Warner.
Got you. I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
So I think like for artists specifically, if you don't really know what you're talking about or don't have something to say, you don't say it. So that's that.
So you're okay with some of these superstars have that been completely quiet?
Like if you don't have, in my opinion, something like if you don't know what to say, and if you're quietly seeking the answer because you just don't know how to feel, I respect that.
Okay.
But what if you're not seeking the answer, you're just doing nothing?
You know, then that's something they got to live with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like I know a lot of people out there who give a fuck, who don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Who can't
articulate.
Think about it. I had 2 artists have #1 albums in back-to-back weeks at the same time this thing was happening.
Yeah.
And they're like, I mean, like, I can't even celebrate. Like, what do I talk about? Like, they're confused. And like these guys, I mean, they're all smart, but they're not scholars.
Yeah.
They didn't go to school for this shit. They don't know. A lot of them from the hood. Yeah. Like, so it's like, I think we have to manage our expectations there. As far as executives go, here's my problem. I never want, so there's a difference between I'm only making 50,000 and I should be making 100,000 versus I'm dying and I deserve to be living. Mm-hmm. So like, I actually don't care about like this very second. I'm not worried about diversity or making sure that artists' contracts are fixed or that executives are getting paid, black executives. Like those are all really important. Mm-hmm. But that's like on the roadmap. We got to stop cops from fucking killing us first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where everything should be focused on right now and getting people to vote. Mm-hmm. Once we figure that out, then you know what ends up happening? The power naturally moves itself into now you got to hire this. It happens on its own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got to stop the shit at the ground. Mm-hmm. And my problem is I think record companies, and this is like, I take blame for this, and it's a lot of my peers, we're putting the wrong kind of pressure on Spotify and Apple. Like, what are you doing for the black artist community? What? Fuck you. Most of you guys are rich and making money. It's about the people who are dying.
Yeah.
Like, so I want to hold Spotify, Apple, Warner, Universal, Sony, all these guys more accountable about making sure that their time and efforts and money are going towards systematic changes that have to do with life or death.
Okay, so where does that start? So if you're giving money, where are you giving money to?
I think voting is incredibly important right now.
Okay.
I think voting is like, at this point there's nothing bigger, right? Yeah. I think you should. I think the other thing too is youth community outreach. The one thing that we've all been talking about is like a good friend of mine named Tunde. He is one of the founders of LVRN. They have Black, Summer Walker, and super smart, thoughtful guy. And we were talking yesterday, and he was like, "Yo, I need to go to these young kids with specific information. Like, if you can show me that there's a judge that's putting away 10 black kids for every one white kid, then we can go get these guys to go protest."
Yeah.
At that courthouse until that judge never comes back to work again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you can tell me this precinct has 6 cops that are like 80% more likely to beat up a black guy than a white guy, then we need to all go to that precinct and show up and march until those cops step down and lose their pension. So our focus now is how do you feed the folks who have no interest in voting the proper information so that it excites them? Because if you go to the hood and be like, "Yo, that DA is locking up every black person just for having an eighth of weed on them," you know what they're? Oh, hell no, we voting. They don't even know. I remember when I was 18 years old, I went to the poll, and it was John Kerry versus George Bush. The first time I was ever able to vote. I was so excited. I went to the little thing, ballot box or whatever, the thing where you fill out the ballot, open it. There were 90 things on there that I had never heard of in my life.
Yeah.
People in this country, most people think when you go vote, you're just picking Biden, Trump. Yeah. That's it, and then you leave. Yeah. No, there are and I think everyone's realizing the power of local, and that is to us where I think the music business should point all of their resources local. Like fuck donating to the global this. Go figure out what's happening in New York City. Go figure out what's happening in Atlanta. Go figure out what's happening in Miami. Yeah. Go figure out what's happening in San Francisco. It has to be grassroots. I think that's the only way things actually change.
And what about like just the lack of check writing right now? Like, is that a problem? Like, in my opinion, everyone right now needs to pick the best organization that they get behind and write a big check. Like people like them.
Yeah.
That have made so much money off of this culture. Like that's the most immediate today. Hey, we're going to start. Here's the bam, instant impact. We did something today. This is part of something much.
Yeah, because it's going to take time to figure out a strategy.
Yeah, but today we are serious.
They should dedicate a certain amount of money, build a task force around it.
Yes.
Figure out how to
deploy
who
are the biggest artists on Warner?
Warner's Cardi B, Bruno Mars.
There you go.
Lizzo.
Stop there.
Yeah.
Lizzo, Little Uzi. I'm forgetting a ton. Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Is Coldplay still on there? No.
But the point is, you just named 5 black people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I named you the black artist. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure if you went down I listen to Spotify all day. All of the music on Spotify, a top 100, with the exception of like occasionally Ariana Grande, is all black artists.
Yes, from a corporate level, I agree. Like if you made money off black culture, the gun is to your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
they gotta do it in a way that's constructive. And which is to me is they got to go local, which means it's going to be harder work.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
I agree that's the long term, but right now, it's
I want to see 100 million.
Yeah,
boom.
I want to see.
Just write the check.
Because my
figure out the structure.
Or at least dedicate it. Like, yo, today, 100 million. This is what it is. We're figuring out how to spend it now.
And it's already in an account.
Yeah.
Because my problem is like, a lot of these people that just think business, it's like this moment passes and it's no longer good for business to hand over $100 million and no one's really asking anymore. And all of a sudden that whole initiative that we came up with went away. Like right now, put the money up.
Yeah. I agree. I think every company that has benefit has to write a check. Yeah. And all this entertainment business is based around so much of his black culture.
The NBA too.
Yeah.
Every franchise.
Nike,
it's all
everybody.
Yeah.
I gotta give Taylor Swift credit. Yeah. She single-handedly is the artist with the only pop artist with something to lose, speaking out against Trump.
Yeah.
No one else has anything to lose.
No.
Like what does Drake have to lose about speaking out, or Nas or Jay-Z?
Yeah.
All their fans all agree.
Yeah.
Like Taylor is like, she stepped up. Yeah. And I give her credit for that. And I think like it's gonna take more of that. Like to me, as an artist, if you don't necessarily fit in black culture, like I saw Pink like shitting on somebody trying to say all lives matter. She like lost it on him.
Yeah.
Or like when Seth Rogen was just like to me, even if you're sitting on your couch, if you have an audience, you like showing your voice, whether it be by text, words, hitting people in comments, whatever, tweets, whatever, that shit matters to people who aren't in the box.
And not to be too
out the box.
Yeah. Not to be too like whatever here, but everyone has an audience of someone.
Yeah.
Like everyone can be that little white girl on TikTok that was crying because she had an argument with her family about racism. Like, go challenge people.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's your little brother, that your little brother might be on Snapchat sending racist shit to his friends.
For sure.
Have a conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Not everyone is a corporate executive that can donate hundreds of millions. So if you're just a normal person, we got a message from someone who said, thank you for the perspective you guys gave us. I'm going to now tell my friends and family those jokes aren't jokes.
Yeah.
That's all you need to start.
Yeah.
If everyone just started with that, think about how much change that would have.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to D about transparency with the police department and how like if you can get 100 bad cops who have like 10 plus complaints on their record and whatnot off the streets of New York City.
Yeah.
They probably interact with 2 to 3 people a day. Let's call it 3. That's 300 interactions a day off the streets.
Yeah.
You're talking, and then that's just in New York.
Yeah.
Imagine 100 cops in every major city. millions of potential wrong interactions gone.
Yeah.
Like, this is a numbers game. And the problem that I think we have as a community, and I've been expressing this, see, my position in all of this stuff is I'm not the boss of anything. I'm not the leader of anything. I am at your disposal. You need me to call the mayor? You need me to call this person? You need me to call one of my rich white friends? I'm going to do it. Tell me what you want to do. And that's it. That is my position. I am fully an ally, and I am just lending my resources, not trying to get caught up into the credit game, because that's kind of where we always lose our footing when trying to make a change, because we all just like pile up on things. Like, I'll give you a good example. I saw a lot of negative commentary around the show must be paused, the thing that happened on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it really hurt me, because I was like, if you have a problem with this, right?
But what was the negative commentary?
Because people are like, oh, you're just posting a black square.
This is stupid. You don't know. You're
it,
shutting down conversation, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, okay. Those are all like reasonable thoughts.
Yeah.
Pick up the fucking phone.
Yeah.
Email. Go to somebody who knows somebody. Like, make those conversations constructive and private.
Yeah.
We all have the same fucking destination in our fucking GPS. All of us. But we can't even get the car out the fucking garage.
Yeah.
Because we fight over every little thing, and it drives me crazy. That's why, like, my position is I'm here.
Yeah.
This is a to-do list. I'm going to do numbers 1 through 5 and come back and show you guys that it's done.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting caught up in anything. I don't care whose idea is what. I am a servant.
Yeah.
I am a servant to the cause. And if everyone has that mentality that I am here to serve,
Yeah.
like, we're actually trying to serve and protect the real way.
Yeah.
Like, so if everyone comes to that mindset, I'm telling you, the power around the table, at the conversations I'm having, it scare the shit out of fucking
Drew Brees.
Fuck you, Drew Brees.
But here's the thing: the cause needs a leader, though.
I know.
No cause has ever their cause has a supreme leader, and
That's really good at marketing.
it's really, really good at riling up the base. And I just don't believe you're going to affect change. We need a face. We need a voice. I don't know.
Obama started yesterday.
Yeah,
He's not going to be protesting.
You
in
need
the
a younger
streets.
person.
Yes,
Yeah.
you need
Obama even said we need a younger.
But you need someone that
Dude,
speaks
Martin Luther
social
King
media.
was like 20. Like, he was like way younger than me.
Yeah,
he died at 39.
Yeah, and so my point being is that, like, I commend you on the role you're playing, but there still needs to be a leader.
I agree. And the thing is, like, I'll be the first to admit, I don't know if I have it in me to deal with the politics of it.
Yeah.
That's why I said, you know what? Instead of allowing me to go down that path and get discouraged and just be like, forget this, I'm going to play a role where I know I can always contribute.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I'm just trying to be Draymond. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
a couple rebounds, couple assists. I don't need to shoot. I might hit a 3 every once in a while.
Talk a little
you know
shit.
what I'm saying?
Talk a little shit here
Yeah,
and there.
exactly. Talk a little shit here and there.
Punch someone in the face.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't quite quantify my value, but you see it here and there.
No, totally. Yeah. I mean, look, I think these are the type of things that bring out who the leader is going to be. I will say this obviously is so much different than any of these things in the last decade.
Yeah.
I do think leaders will come out of this.
Yeah.
And, it's a scary task. I mean, we talked about it again with Omar. Like, I keep saying, I wish Obama would do it. It's so gnarly. Obama's looked it in the face, and it's probably like, a younger person should take this on.
Yeah, because I'm enjoying my life.
Yeah,
Right.
like this is the rest of my life will be dedicated to like.
It's so funny. Like, people, presidents, fortunately and unfortunately, get credited or blamed for like things that essentially where it was like either right place, right time, or wrong place, right time, wrong place, wrong time. Like Bill Clinton gets all this credit for like the economy. Dude, I could have been the fucking president at 8 years old during those times.
Yeah.
The internet was on fucking fire.
Yeah.
Anybody would we were going to be in the black no matter what.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have the complete opposite where like the one thing that people always shit on Obama about are the drone attacks. Right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, drone technology advanced by 1,000x while he was president. Yeah. Anybody who was president at that time. So it's like a lot of these guys get blamed and credited for things. Like, it's like Trump in the economy. Yeah. Like, dude, literally anyone could have been president.
Yeah.
And the economy.
I mean,
would have been
we
on fire.
proved it.
Yeah.
It was literally like an experiment. Like, wonder if this guy could ride.
I mean, like,
Yep, he did.
and so I always find it interesting how I think that a true testament of some of these people. I respect people who and there are a lot of people in the music business like this who like acknowledge like, yeah, I'm here because like shit went my way, so I gotta jump back in here and figure out how to help. And it's been a great experience to connect with folks that I don't really know. Like, funny story, I'm on a call, this guy that I actually forgot that I didn't even like. Like, it happened so long ago that I forgot his name and I forgot the story.
You forgot you didn't like him?
I forgot I didn't like him because I forgot his name.
Yeah.
So then he sends me a message like, yo, man, really powerful. Like, let's connect on everything. I'm like, my brother, let's do it. Here's all my information. Hit me anytime. He sends me his. I was like, man, this guy's name looks familiar. I Googled him. I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, you know what? It's cool, man. Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah. Like, anybody down for the cause, I'm down with you.
That's how busy you are. You forget who you hate.
I mean, yeah, I forgot I hated him. Actually, that just proved I didn't really hate him.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, one real quick, complete left field thing, but worth talking about. Rockstar Games is doing their part. They are doing a shutdown of Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption.
They pissed the wrong people off.
They did, because I saw Call of Duty did it. They did like we're going to delay our release of our new thing. And like, listen, I don't think fundamentally the video game crowd is like...
Video game crowd might be scarier than any other crowd.
I'm scared of those guys.
Yeah. I mean,
they will shoot you or strap a bomb to their chest.
They practice all day. All they do is practice shooting people.
Yeah.
For 2 hours, they were going to suspend the game. Not 2 days.
And it was a meltdown.
2 hours.
The first tweet I saw was, and this is like obviously like as far from funny as can possibly be. The first tweet I saw was, oh, now I have a reason to hate black people. Which, like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. And which by the way, now has 471 likes, 22 retweets. You just lost my support, Rockstar. Like,
2 hours.
How does this honor him? Stop killing, stop rioting, looting. This is where racism starts. It starts as a child. You end up playing video games. Someone starts using the N-word. You start getting comfortable with it.
You start laughing.
Yes, and then people don't realize like all of this starts when you're a kid. This hate, this anger, all this starts, and the video game industry is complicit in it, and they have to figure this out. I don't know how you figure this out, frankly.
I clicked it and was like, holy shit! I immediately sent it to YouTube.
Yeah,
I couldn't see. You could not find something nice.
Yeah,
it was 100% negative.
2 hours.
Yeah,
it's 2 fucking hours.
2 hours. These guys are melting down.
But I'm gonna tell you this: on the complete opposite side of that, my favorite part of yesterday was when all the K-pop fans took over White Lives Matter and White Out Wednesday and flooded it with K-pop memes. You could not find one White Lives Matter like actual real tweet anywhere. So like the power of social media goes both ways.
Yeah.
But like it was like the biggest, it was like Variety covered it, Deadline, everybody covered it. How BTS and Blackpink's fans just completely drowned it while we were sleeping because they were up.
Yeah.
So we wake up, White Lives Matter is the #1 trending topic in the world, and everyone's clicking the link and seeing that it's all K-pop content.
Yeah, I clicked it and I was like, it's all Korean. What's going on?
They did that too, where there was a thing that said, if you see anyone doing any illegal activity at the protests, any looting, like please send video evidence here. And they told them, send this email your fan videos from our concerts, and it just shut down.
They're the people's farm system.
Yeah, they're
good.
Like
Russia has their farm system. Yeah. They're like, we have K-pop fans.
Who would have thought, man? K-pop would come through. Okay, so that's that.
And then I think we should just go to winners and losers.
You want to look, what's going on in the stock market? We can cover it in 2 seconds.
I mean, it's just on fire.
It's on fire.
Okay.
Never been better.
I mean,
the economy's never been better.
What's crazy is we have the pandemic still. Yep. That's still going on. There's still the reopening is happening around the country. Vegas reopened today. LA restaurants. Yeah, I see people. I saw like one person eating a pink taco the other day.
Kings Road is busy outside.
Yeah. So I think, in New York, I think on Monday is supposed to reopen to a certain level. We also still have the protests. Curfew got lifted in LA, so maybe people will start being out and about again. The stock market's very close to a record high, and there's no economic activity happening.
Not only that, there's negative economic. There's rioting and looting.
Yes, rioting,
Destruction of wealth.
Literally, you're giving away your product that hasn't sold for 3 years.
Yeah, if you think losing money from being closed sucks, how about losing money from having to rebuild your fucking store? So I don't see how it. I don't get it.
Yeah, so I mean, clearly, here's where Donald Trump's going to get some points credit. Because one thing we know for sure, the stock market, civil unrest, I Googled civil unrest and stock market. Historically, civil unrest has no impact on the stock market.
Oh, really?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Neither
Martin
does
Luther
a
King.
global pandemic.
Yeah, and then
Literally nothing does.
Yeah, so the reality is there are record profits everywhere falling from the sky, even though every company has reported sales are down.
Yep.
People ask me all the time about the stock market, and I just don't. I mean, it's just the liquidity. It's just people are.
There's nowhere else to put money.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
You know what else is? This is, to me, correct me if I'm wrong, this is Donald Trump's last thing.
Yeah.
His last, it's like, people are holding on. All those Trump supporters are like,
I think he's done.
I think he's done too after this,
Not only that, I think Georgia and Texas are in play. I think he's going to lose a state that scares the shit out of the GOP.
Yeah.
He's going to lose one state that makes everyone
Georgia.
go.
I don't know about Georgia.
No, almost elected
Abrams.
Yeah.
She lost by a 0.10.
It's rigged there. It's just rigged.
Yo, I'm telling you, Texas is becoming more and more liberal. He pissed a lot of people off with
and it's
immigration
more and more
stuff.
Hispanic every year.
Exactly. And in Georgia, all Georgia needs to do, if they can get black people to vote, he can win.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think you're gonna see some shit that shocks you in this election.
Yeah.
I thought he survived everything, including the pandemic. And then this last week, beyond repair.
I mean, now when you have these old Christian white dudes speaking out and saying the way he's treating the Bible and clearing off protesters to take a photo op, he's now pissing off that exact.
Jim Mattis is I have never in my life seen an ex-White House official ever go at a sitting president like that.
Cabinet
ever.
member, right?
Yeah, he's a cabinet member, actually, yeah.
And he got him good.
In my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember ever seeing anyone talk about George W. Bush, Clinton, or Obama.
And he did the most predictable thing, went on Twitter and just shitted on him.
Good.
Yeah.
Play the game.
No,
Make
Trump,
it low, go low.
Trump went on Twitter.
but
he said the only thing me and Obama ever got right was sacking this guy or something. I don't know what he said.
where did Mattis put it out at?
The Atlantic.
I guess I just read
Donald
it in
Trump
a tweet.
is so good at that shit.
Yeah.
It sucks.
But that's what I think the black movement, you need a leader there, the Democrats, you need leaders who speak that language. You got to play that social media game. People now are used to taking in that quick content. Got it. This is how I feel now. This is how the leader feels. You got to play that game. Even Obama, he's too well spoken. It's too perfect. And when I was watching that Zoom thing the other day, I was like, man, I wish he would just let off a couple hot tweets.
Because he's not attainable. No one can speak like that.
Which is good. I think there's a good part about this aspirational, we can be that one day. The country can get there. But you got to also let off some hot tweets.
One Draymond jab.
Just Democrats, the black movement. You got to, Trump
But the
has
thing
that.
is, but Obama knows that's what Trump is dying for a fucking fist fight with Obama.
I know, but you got to go
Dying
there.
for it.
Yeah.
Somebody will be able to go there and it'll change the game, I feel like.
I don't think he'll be. I thought pandemic guaranteed Trump's loss. I've said it again.
I didn't.
I just believed because I know the pain that's still coming from the pandemic.
Yeah,
when we
it's-
reopen and there's no fucking jobs and it's going to be jobs in the States, it's not going to be us in LA. We are going to be fine. Everyone always says, you're in your bubble. I'm like, no, I'm going to be fine. I'm worried about you guys. I literally know what's going to happen in those cities, in those states. That's where the ugliness is going to be.
Yeah.
This city's going to be fine.
It's true.
Okay, we'll see what happens. I think it's over now, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully. If he wins now, holy fuck.
Yep.
Okay. Winners, losers, content. D, who's the biggest winner of the last week?
Mine is Lamborghini. CEO came out, said they've got no cancellation. Business is booming. There's not a problem. Stock market has really helped us. We love it.
Good for them.
Nothing has
them.
affected. People, once we solve this problem, cops killing black people, we really have to focus on economic.
We have to focus on who bought a fucking Lamborghini during a pandemic and a global shutdown.
Yeah.
You're the problem.
There's so many people that probably bought Lamborghinis. They're sitting at home and they're rich. They're like, you know what? You got Lambo.
Tyler Hero of the Miami Heat just bought one.
So yeah, a guy of the Miami Heat bought one.
White guy.
White guy.
Yeah. Time
Wisconsin
Oh
guy.
my God, this keeps getting worse. I would say my winner of the week. You know what? First of all, before I say my winner of the week, I just want to say I've shitted on this guy many times for his playing skills, but never for what he's tried to fight for. And my winner is Colin Kaepernick. And I think because everyone is now seeing what he was trying to do. And look, if you told me, hey, I don't want to sign Colin Kaepernick because I don't think he's a good football player, cool. You're not going to argue with me. I thought the last year, 2 years in San Francisco, he was a bottom 5 starting quarterback. So but then like when you start seeing Johnny Manziel going from rehab straight to signing with another team in the NFL, getting a second chance, you're like, all right, enough's enough. Like he may not be like starting caliber, but second, third string, you can pay the guy to be a second or third string. I think he won because now everyone realizes why he did what he did.
Yeah.
And you know, I commend him for doing it and standing up, and he put himself on the line. And I think he will forever go down as a legend, and not a football legend, but as a black legend.
Yeah.
Which is way more important.
I think the post that has been going around everywhere of that you're wondering why Colin did this and it's him kneeling and it's because of this and it's the cop kneel. Like, it just like, I do think you're right. Like, that connection really happened.
Yeah.
Here.
Definitely.
Okay. Anand?
So my winner is going to surprise people given the climate.
Donald Trump.
No. And it ties into my content. Bill Simmons.
Okay.
So Sunday night, Bill Simmons did a podcast with Ryan Russillo, who's also white.
Yeah.
And they tried to talk about the protests. And I actually thought Bill Simmons did a fine job about talking about it. He didn't say anything out of pocket. Mm-hmm. But Ryan Russillo definitely did. Was talking more looters and rioters than what was going on. Mm-hmm. So released the podcast. They started getting some blowback. Like, what the hell are you guys talking about? So then on Wednesday, he opens his podcast apologizing. Said, I read it wrong. Owned it and was like, I'm a 50-year-old guy and I still make mistakes. I can't pitch a no-hitter. Like, I'm going to make mistakes. And I don't even think he did anything that wrong. I think he just meant his podcast just didn't reflect what the moment should have been.
Yep.
But then he brought on DeRay McKesson and was like, I wanted to bring on someone that can actually speak to what's going on. I'm not that person. I don't have anyone in my company that can do this.
Yep.
Tell us what's going on with police brutality. And that's my content of the week. I highly recommend everyone listen to Bill Simmons' podcast from Wednesday with DeRay McKesson on. And DeRay systematically breaks down what can be changed within the police force to reduce police violence on citizens. Mm-hmm. And he launched a campaign yesterday called 8 Can't Wait, which are 8 things that police departments can enforce immediately and will reduce police violence against citizens by 72%. And he breaks it down with data, facts, and goes through so many rules about, like, for example, one of the rules in California, if you're a police officer and you're being investigated for misconduct, if that investigation lasts more than 1 year, regardless of the findings, you cannot be punished.
Yeah.
What an arbitrary rule.
Yeah.
And there's so many rules within the police department that citizens like us, law-abiding citizens, tax-paying citizens, that we're like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. And
And he's on a mission to expose all the loopholes and flaws within the police department. And he's dedicated the last 6 years of his life. He's only 34 years old. When you talk about someone who could be the face of this movement, listen to him. This guy's inspiring. He's articulate. He's intelligent. And he speaks with data and facts, not just pure emotion. So he's also my winner.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I'll listen to that. I got to listen to that.
Yeah.
My winner is, I think it's maybe a little too early to celebrate, but my winner is the black community and this whole movement. Reason being is I saw a post the other day that said all 50 states have protested. I think 18 countries total. And I think the main thing I realized when I saw the marches in Hollywood and everything I've seen on TV is it is incredibly diverse. And this is the first time I've ever seen that much. I mean, I saw the protests in Hollywood. It was literally majority white people or majority other, you know, which to a degree, I think there's some people like getting in on the social media moment. But I think really most people's hearts are in the right place.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that, like, once again, too early to celebrate, still got a lot to do. But like, man, times have changed. Times are changing. This does feel like the beginning of real change. And I just think it's something to, like, in the middle of all the darkness, like, be, you know, hopeful about.
Good.
Loser D.
Mine's racist.
Okay. There we go.
I mean, I think
Just racism?
No, racist as people.
Oh, people, racist
people, racist people.
Well,
I mean, here's the thing. We've finally come to a place in society where it's not accepted. And I'm telling you, if you act like this going forward, you'll lose your job. You'll lose your friends. There's no more option for you. You ran out of, like, space.
You know, mine, D knows mine. Mine's Virgil.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? But Virgil's also a winner. You know why? Because he donated $50,
Okay.
and it motivated me to donate $50,000.
That's why you saved it.
That's what I said.
That's
and,
good.
You
Yours will be 1,000 times better than
Yeah,
good.
so I feel I'm 1,000 times better than Virgil.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
That donation probably would have been like 25, 30,000.
Yeah, he got nervous, like, oh my God, you're gonna talk. I've never met Virgil in my life.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I've never bought Off-White in my life. I've never purchased anything he's ever made from. If I don't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
What I care about is like how whack he fucking looked.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell him in his face.
Yep.
Doesn't bother me. Won't change shit. Won't take any money out of my pocket. I just be honest and be cool about it. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
So he's my loser, and I thank him because his loss ended up being like a decent gain for an organization that deserved it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's cool. For every guy like him, I just wanted to show the world there's guys like us.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and I hope, you know, I hope one day he, you know, by the way, the internet, I mean, just completely.
Did you see 2 Virgils was trending?
Yeah.
Yes, everything. Virgils, 2 Virgil, everything was everything.
Yeah.
Keep it 2 Virgils with me. So I mean, like,
Wait,
it's like,
what's the 2 Virgil
Keep
mean?
it 100.
Keep it 100.
2 Virgils.
Keep it 100.
You didn't see the Will Chamberlain holding up 100 and it said 2 Virgils.
Oh my God.
That
I
sign
get
and
that.
holding up 100 smiling, that picture, it
Yeah.
says 2 Virgils on it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's like the
Is
culture.
he over? Who's more over? Who's more likely to be over, Drew Brees or Virgil Abloh?
That's tough.
Virgil.
And that's the problem.
That's actually a problem. Like, poor guy donates money and then gets fucking creamed for it. And then, like, because of how much he
And
donated.
like everyone's like in unison said Virgil.
Yeah, everyone's
Drew
like,
Brees is fine.
like nobody's agreeing. It's black and white. Everyone's shit on it. That's and like Drew Brees, it's like there's at least he has some people backing up.
And what's sad is like Virgil to me, just being in fashion is extremely inspiring.
It's huge. I actually look. Everyone loves a comeback story, so I hope he figures it out. And the thing is, I'm sure he's done stuff.
Yeah.
Like everything I've ever heard about him was that he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought what he did was whack as fuck.
Yeah, he's done a lot in Chicago, and he's done a lot of things for sure. But I just think that was undeniably a massive mistake. And even the way he came out with his like apology thing was just kind of like
Bullshit.
soft and long written. And like,
Yeah,
what the fuck are you saying, dude?
Yeah.
Post another receipt.
Talking about
for
staying
a
in line.
shit ton
Yeah,
more money.
all we have to see is $1 million.
That's it,
Virgil.
bro.
That's it.
Anyway, okay, cool.
And then do I have to say content or we do that after?
After
Well,
next
after-
round.
next round.
Anand, loser.
Loser, real simple. Anyone who is questioning why there are protests
Yeah.
or is disappointed that there are protests or doesn't understand the protests, you're a loser.
Yep. Mine's exactly the same. Anyone who feels similar to Drew Brees, anyone who thinks what's the big deal with what he said, don't disrespect the flag, why are people looting? Literally, if you don't fully get, there's nothing confusing here. If you don't fully get it, you owe it to yourself to understand it, because it's like not understanding the fucking internet at this point. It's like, just figure the shit out. Okay, content.
Ava DuVernay's documentary 13th. I'm sure it did not cross your radar if you're just a regular
And that's
person.
on my notes too as my content.
I just think that like it explains a lot about Black history in this country, and you need to educate yourself.
Yep.
Because I still keep hearing, why would they loot their own neighborhoods?
Yep.
Like you don't even understand why we're here.
Yep.
I think it's important, and I think that movie does a great job of sharing it.
Anand?
So I shared one podcast. I'll share another. Anthony's close friend Ben Horowitz did a podcast under the A16Z podcast with Shaka and Terry Brown, who is a former police officer from East Palo Alto. And they just talk about...
You know Terry. He's one of the security guys who's always
did he try to arrest you?
Yeah, that's the guy who tried to arrest you. Yeah. He's the best.
Yeah, I do know he is.
And then Shaka, tell who Shaka is.
He is... he served 19 years, I think, in prison for a crime he admitted that he did.
So a very diverse background group of people.
Yeah, and I think if you want to understand how the hood thinks and how a black police officer thinks and what they think can be done, listen to it. It's super informative. They both have honest perspectives, one from the crime side, one from the cop side.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is they're not very different.
Yeah.
So it gives you hope that it could be solved if we ever actually, like the crime side and cop side can actually be solved.
Yeah.
It's just going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
My content of the week, they're not really like, there are two video clips that I saw. One, like, I was disturbed, but I was also fascinated by them. The first one was in Fairview, California, where they stole the bulldozer and ran through that Best Buy. And I just was like, this is the most insane thing I've ever, they literally backed it up, ran right through it, knocked down the big, like knocked the gates down and everything down. Everyone ran into Best Buy and emptied it out. Wow. Right? And Best Buy has millions of dollars worth of merchandise in their stores. Yeah. That's one. And my feeling was confusing because I was like, this is incredible. But this is also like, damn, this sucks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, somebody could get hurt. What if shit collapses? What if this happens? Blah, blah, blah. The second piece of content, this guy deserves a fucking Webby. There was a shooting in St. Louis with like 10 cop cars and like 5 other cars flying around the streets. And it's just like, it sounded like pure war.
That was one of the protest nights.
One of the protest nights. And this guy in St. Louis is literally in the middle, just like filming it as if like they weren't bullets flying. I was like, who is this cameraman?
Who are they shooting at?
You have to see it to believe it. It's cars flying down the street, shooting.
It's like a movie.
It was like I couldn't, bro. It was like the scene out of like Fast and Furious.
And these are cops shooting.
Yes, and this random guy is just like at the gas station across the street filming it while it's happening right in front of him. I'm like, I wouldn't be able to hold my phone. I'd be
Pete,
like,
you gotta find it and post it.
And there's cars like peeling off, like the guy's standing steady.
Yes, he's just standing there and filming. It was the most insane thing. And I said, you know what? I don't know who this kid is, but he deserves some award for being this fucking brave.
Disney should hire him.
Yeah, send him to go do crazy documentaries in Venezuela, Honduras.
With an iPhone.
You know what's funny is that's one of the DeRay McKesson's things. Cops shouldn't be able to shoot moving vehicles. Yeah. And he's like, think about it logically. If a cop is successful shooting the driver, where's that car going to go?
Yeah.
It's going to go hurt or kill someone else.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like basic logic. It's not all based on race.
I'll tell you what, that was out the window in this clip.
When cops are shooting,
I'm gonna find it.
They train how to shoot, right? Like to use a gun.
Yeah.
Why can't you just shoot them in the foot or something? Why do you have to shoot them like in the head or in the chest?
Because I believe that you have all these. Once again, I could be so wrong here, and light me up if you want. But you have all these non-lethal. You have stun guns, tasers, mace. I think when you go to a gun, it's a lethal. You're choosing the lethal option. I think that's how it is.
I know, but it's always the lethal option.
I feel like it's always the thing gets pulled out.
I get it. That's the problem, right? Don't pull that shit out. There should be a code.
Why can't you just tase people? I'm sure that's enough.
Yeah. My content, I'm going to keep it short and simple. My content is the little cartoon that we posted on the group chat page. Thought it was really cool because it explains systemic racism for the Drew Breeses of the world who just refuse to understand it. It's a nice cartoon.
Yeah.
It takes 4 minutes. Hopefully you can soak it all in.
Yeah.
But I think in the age of like do-it-yourself content and stuff like that, like we're getting a lot of great content from Anthony's wartime videographer to these animation people. Like there's plenty of content. So.
There's a lot of great way to educate yourself.
That's it. What an episode. That was good.
It's great.
It's great.
Anthony, thank you, man.
My brother, appreciate. I'm trying to find this damn.
We have actually some birthday shout outs from some diehard Cathys.
All right. Pete, did you remember? Are we a month early?
I'll read it.
Just wish me happy birthday, September 11th. It's June 4th. It's all the same.
Tim, step up.
But yeah, two Kellys out in Chicago, Kelly Dreyer and Kelly Chrischilis, I think. I don't
I've
want.
got 2 girlfriends and they're both named Kelly.
Yeah.
You got to keep them happy, man. Give shout outs on the pod.
I'll keep them both happy.
But yeah, it's their birthday this weekend, and they've been listening. Well, one of them has been listening before Anand.
Oh, whoa.
But yeah.
Wow.
Kelly C apparently has been listening before Anand. So she's been down. She's the one that turned it on to all of her friends. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Have a happy birthday. I'm sure Chicago has reopened now. Has
Yeah.
it?
Well,
I'm sure you
Probably.
can have like a nice, you
Yeah, you
know,
can, for sure.
50%.
for sure. Outdoor patio.
Yeah,
vibes.
outdoor patio in Chicago's
Yeah.
are nice.
Yeah. Okay. Is that it?
That's all I have. What do you got, Pete?
Yeah, we got one more. Anand just.
Can you
Don't mind the background.
Yeah, don't mind the shooting in the background.
Post the video, don't worry. The other shout out is Nick Martin and Sky. They're celebrating their anniversary. They were supposed to go to Yellowstone, but was canceled because of Corona. So
Are the
as an
national parks still closed?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah, maybe just go to those arcs.
Yeah.
Should have celebrated those arcs. Happy anniversary, Nick and Sky.
Where do they live?
Doesn't say.
Okay. Well, happy anniversary, guys. How many years?
They're not married, so it's boyfriend girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
Must be serious. They want an anniversary shout
Can I
out.
ask you
Yeah.
guys a question?
Yes.
When did men and women start calling each other partners instead of boyfriend? Because now I be getting confused. Like, wait, are you gay? Are you not? When like, so it's like a
Like
guy.
straight people have been doing that?
Yeah, like this dude one time was like, yeah, you know, me and my partner, we have a kid, and I'm like, oh,
Because they're not legally married.
they're not legally married. So then I'm like in my head, I was like, oh, okay, oh, he's gay, like, you know, whatever. So then like I have him. One time he invited me for drinks, and I go to hang, and it's like him, his girl, his kid, and I'm like,
Look, where's your boyfriend?
I was confused. Like,
Yeah.
wait. So like, I was like, I missed that boat.
Yeah, I
Like,
missed it
and
too.
women do it too. They call their significant other, even if a man, woman, whatever,
Yeah,
partner.
but, I mean,
That's very liberal.
what's condescending about being called a husband
No.
or a wife?
No, he's saying.
No, I know.
That's
This
what I'm
is
saying,
my
like, what's the problem with
No,
that?
my point is this is like the woke brigade.
Yeah.
Like, don't call them a wife.
I'm
'cause they're-
sure. I'm sure
or
it's
a
based.
boyfriend or a girlfriend call
No,
him
I think
a
it's
partner.
more they're
Yeah.
not legally married.
I'm well, now if you say partner, I'm confused because I thought that meant like
I did too.
Yeah, you're like, you know, I guess they don't want to. A boy doesn't want to say boyfriend, which I don't think is a big deal. I'd actually rather the clarity than not.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was weird.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out because I haven't experienced it yet, and now I'll be a little bit more aware.
Is your partner of the same sex or the opposite sex?
I don't think you,
I don't want to have to ask that.
Yeah.
I don't care. Just said like, you know, but just like
Yeah.
say it, who cares?
Yeah,
There's
but
no rules.
I agree. I want to know.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Didn't ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask
what
when
sex
someone
is your
says
partner?
that. I'm like, yeah, I just need to understand what's going on.
I had the complete opposite problem with Bobby Campbell, who I used to work with, who manages
yeah.
Lady Gaga. I like in the beginning because I never really. It was weird. I never really. My parents weren't like homophobic or like we didn't care like that. It was like, okay, you're gay, cool, like no big deal.
Yeah.
You're just whatever. You're just one of us. No, it never registered as, oh, you're different.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't. So like a guy who worked with me for a few years, I didn't know he was gay for the first like almost year I worked with him. And he used to always talk about his partner. I thought he had like a side business. And I was like, so what else do you do on the side? You always talk about all the things you and your partner do. Like,
you're
I
always
don't understand.
partners.
He's like, no, I'm gay. My boyfriend. I was like, oh,
That's really good.
yeah, it's like literally like you don't think like
Yeah.
it's so I was like super after that I was like, oh, that's what you call it.
Yeah.
So I was trained to think that that's what.
I wonder if most people think I'm gay because I'm saying partner all day.
I was gonna say, let me tell
I'm
you
about
that. Let me tell
partner
you
this,
the-
partner that, partner that.
Yeah, the other weird side of that is before I have connected people with D and said, let me connect you with my partner D.
Now you gotta say
Business partner.
PATNA.
Just say
And I'll be like,
business
oh,
in
man.
front of it.
Yeah.
But
it's
yeah, I
important.
mean, now we have to, yeah. This is my sexual partner. This is my business partner.
Yeah.
This is my
Yeah,
gym
I
partner.
prefer
This is my
this-
running
this-
partner.
Yeah, that's my gym partner.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think we should go.
All right, we're done now. All right, guys. This is
you,
group
guys.
chat. I'll be back. No doubt. Love everybody.
We're out.